Hello everyone and welcome back to my BNB Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy targets to hurt Hope Logan by ending the Hope for the Future apparel line permanently. Still, Carter Walton has explosively argued for keeping the apparel line going. Steffy Forrester revealed that her character from BNB will have an explosive response to Carter and Hope's budding love. Steffy has been on the lookout for any reason to halt the product of Hope's line. Following Hope's crapulous kiss with her hubby, John Finnegan, Steffy is more determined than ever to see it shut down. Can you really condemn her? With Thomas Forrester out of the picture, Hope for the Future has been facing tough times. Presently, there's no suggestion that Matthew Atkinson will be returning. Without Thomas as a developer, effects are looking grim for Hope. Brooke Logan is acutely apprehensive that Steffy will go to great lengths to undermine her son's apparel line. In fact, Brooke indeed reached out to Finn for help, but he declined to get involved. During an interview, Wood remarked, "Steffy's focus is on Hope, and while it might feel particular, it's also a matter of business. The Hope for the Unborn line isn't doing well." This concern was echoed in a recent meeting on BNB regarding the line. Numerous anticipated that Steffy would shut it down incontinently, but to everyone's surprise, she chose to give Hope fresh time to turn effects around. Steffy Forrester's trouble to shut down Hope Logan's clothing line and Carter Walton's courageous defense after the meeting, Steffy brazened Hope, issuing a stern warning that she'd ramify ties if Hope didn't steer clear of her hubby. Since that moment, Hope has been trying to move on from Finn. Fortunately, she set up some distractions, including a budding love with Carter, who has expressed a strong interest in dating her. Still, Liam Spencer has returned, eager to win Hope back, while she seems to be leaning more towards Carter. Meanwhile, Carter is reaching out to Steffy and Ridge Forrester, aiming not only to keep HFTF thriving but also to secure their support for farther investments in it. Steffy believes that Hope is trying to work Carter to regain her floundering line, warning Hope against using Carter as a means to help the check of her line, Hope conceding. They were relieved that Steffy remained unconscious to their true intentions, much like with Brooke's bedroom, which turned out to be a successful adventure, and Hope felt a sense of comfort. It's interesting that Carter drew a comparison between the two lines, especially since Ridge supported Brooke's bedroom due to his romantic connections. Now, Carter finds himself backing Hope for the Future as he begins to develop passions for Hope. Steffy was prompting Carter for strong deals numbers during the meeting. Still, he kept turning the discussion to Hope, emphasizing that she's vital for Forrester Creations. Carter might move the directors to continue the line and indeed invest more. Yet, his asseveration on Hope raises dubieties about whether he has manipulated the deal's protrusions to make them appear more favorable. Jacqueline McInnes would mention that Steffy is ignorant of Carter and Hope's relationship for now, noting it'll be relatively shocking when she discovers the verity. She added it puts the Forrester name at threat, which is veritably important to Steffy. She may close down Hope's line, and also could fire both Carter and Hope. In the main office of Forrester Creations, with pressures running advanced than the hemline of a miniskirt, Ivy revealed that she'd been in the States since the last time that she and Steffy crossed paths. "I'm surprised I haven't seen you throwing yourself at Liam," Fico CEO cracked. "I've been in the States," Ivy clarified, "not LA. Yeah, whatever," Steffy said, in substance. She also shot down the idea of relaunching the jewelry line. In accord, Ivy, Electra, and Carter all appealed to the master to review. "Stop allowing so small," the COO said. "Not a shot in hell," replied Steffy's expression. Nearly, Grandma Stephanie had to be beaming. In the design room, Brooke and Hope pleased and teasing Will about how frequently the new intern had formerly taken a wrong turn at Forrester. Which seems hard to do, since it has an aggregate of 2 services? 3? On a more serious note, Hope advised Will that Steffy would presumably see him as a trouble, what with him being Katie's son and all. Yeah, Brooke added, there are 2 sides around then, Logan's and Lumberers. Pressed by Will, is Steffy really that violent? Brooke tried to cut her occasional stepdaughter some slack. But Hope wasn't having it. Steffi was so Machiavellian, Hope said, that she was indeed bracing herself for hope for the future to come a thing of the history. "Well, I believe in you," Will told his aunt. "And considering how little he knows about fashion, that must mean so veritably important." "And flashback, Carter sees the value in you and your line," Brooke noted. "He also entertains fancies of you in nighties, no bone added, but should have." Back in the main office, Ivy contended with Steffi not to let their once differences intrude with the eventuality for a collaboration that could be as foamy as her jewelry. "Electra, take a hike," Steffi said. Also, formerly alone with Ivy and Carter, Steffi snapped that she had been disrespected to have them question her business expertise. She'd no way let her passions about Hope intrude with the company. Except, well, now. And every chance she gets. But away from those times, no way. Off that fiery exchange, Carter told Ivy and Electra not to give up Stopgap. He was the susurrus of Forrester, for Pete's sake, and he wasn't about to let Steffi or anyone kneecap the company. As Carter showed Electra around both of Forrester's services, Brooke entered the main bone and started going on and on about Brooke's bedroom. When Steffi didn't roll her eyes or monkey shine a single time, the Golden Stunner claimed on being told what was over, as if she couldn't guess Steffi was worried about Carter's passionate defense of Hope for the future. At the same time, Carter made a beeline for the design office to tell Hope what had just happened. Supposedly, indeed she hadn't been apprehensive that Carter was bringing in Ivy and Electra to pitch their tchotchkes and expedients of giving hope for the future, you know, a future. "Steffi is determined to keep this company stagnant," Carter blustered. "Cool to see Mr. Nice Guy fired up. Another occasion like this, and he'll be quoting South Park's Cartman, 'Admire my authority.'" Latterly, when Will literally banged into Electra veritably Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald, heartstring suckers? It transferred the papers and jewelry samples she was carrying flying. Before the kiddies had so important as noticed bone. Another, Will wound up on bended knee immolation Electra the ring she'd dropped along with everything differently. Incontinently, both of them turned into heart eye emojis and were struck speechless. Luckily, the condition was temporary. They recaptured the capability to communicate just in time to introduce themselves before Will slipped the ring on Electra's cutlet, for running important. As match cuties go, it didn't break any new ground, but it sure was cute. Back in the main office, Steffi dissed Carter to Brooke. Fico CEO no way pictured she'd question her susurrus's judgment. But also again, she presumably no way pictured that he'd differ with her, moreover. Contemporaneously, Carter continued complaining to Hope about Steffi. He could just tell that Electra is as talented as Ivy said so, after all. Steffi, he conjectured, is letting her particular grievances get in the way of making Forrester as massive as it can be. This was music to Hope's cognizance eventually. Someone besides her had seen that her sister is making opinions grounded on battles and feuds rather than spreadsheets and fashion trends. Worked up, Carter went on to detail for Hope the house of Forrester that he imagines, a major luxury marquee with a number of poshmarkers beneath it, Ivy's jewelry line being only the first. "You need to run with this," Hope told him. "You need to get Ridge and Eric on board and do whatever it takes. I can tell that this is the mark you're going to leave on this company, on this assiduity, this is your heritage." This scene did end with a kiss. Perhaps hereafter?